Live from Wish TV, this is News 8, your 24-hour news station.
Heroin is taking hold of a new consumer, your kids.
Here's News 8's Bonnie Drucker with the conclusion of her special report on heroin in Indiana.
Mike and Debbie, you know your son or daughter is hooked on heroin, and recovery seems hopeless, but don't give up. Jenny Connor didn't. Here's her story of recovery.
Jenny Connor looks like a golden girl, a loving mother with 3 beautiful kids. But Jenny is the face of recovery. She remembers the day she shot heroin for the first time.
I remember when I was doing it, I felt really ashamed of myself because I had had this picture in my mind of what a drug addict was, and I thought about, this guy laying on the side of the street with, this paper bag.
Jenny admits she loved the heroin high and used every day.
This is like the worst incident on heroin. I shot up at my house and I laid back on the couch and I got so relaxed that I forgot to breathe. And I think that I really honestly think that I almost OD'd that night.
Jenny's story is frightening, and what makes it worse, drug counselors are seeing more and more cases like Jenny's. Pathway Family Center in Indianapolis is on the front line of the war on heroin. The facility admitted 3 times more teenage heroin addicts this year than last year.
Chicago is like number 2 on the list, I believe, reports the second highest use rate among adolescents. And as we see it in Chicago, it's not that far away, and it's slowly creeping down into Indianapolis.
And it's easy for kids to buy.
Where do you get anything, really? I mean, our schools today are inundated with anything. You can get pills, prescription pills, marijuana, cocaine, heroin. If the demand is there, somehow kids find a way to get it.
Drug counselors say as soon as you know your child is addicted to heroin, it's important to get help. 75% of kids who go for treatment can achieve lifelong recovery.
But there is hope, and it gets better,
Jenny shares her hope with teens every day. She's now a counselor at Pathway.
I did have to do some work to get here, and it wasn't easy, but I tell you, I think it's a lot more work to use than it is to be clean.
Jenny wants to make sure her own children never mess with drugs.
I've taken him to Pathway before and let him sit in the group to kind of see what would happen if, he did use drugs, so he knows. I'd hold him accountable, definitely. I wouldn't be okay with that.
Jenny's been clean for 5 years and doesn't take her life for granted. She has a stunning family, a nice home in the suburbs, a good job. Jenny knows all too well how heroin could rear its ugly head and wreck everything she's worked for.
This is a day-by-day program, and I can't say that I never will. I really hope that I never will. Today I'm not going to use, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to stay clean today.
Drug counselors told me there are warning signs parents can look for. Ask your child questions if he or she spends a lot of time in their room. Ask questions if you see a drastic change in what your teen is wearing and how they physically look. Ask questions if your child does not wake up for school or skip school. For more information on heroin addiction, you can log on to our website at wishtv.com.